I ordered yarn from Temu and I have some thoughts. Hello and welcome to my channel. Yes, yet another channel full of yarn arts and crafts. This is also a place where I speak bad English because it's not my first language. So, I ordered yarn from Temu, and yes, here we say Temu, not Temu. Anyway, I've been crocheting about 15 years and have tried all kinds of yarns. I'm 35 now and sadly still not a millionaire, so I don't buy premium yarns. I mostly use affordable Turkish blends, things like bamboo acrylic, cotton acrylic or wool acrylic. For the top from my previous video I even used an eucalyptus linen blend. I never use 100% acrylic for wearables because it feels like wearing a plastic bag for me. Plus, low quality acrylic peels like crazy after a few washes and all that hard work just goes to waste. I do love natural fibers, but they come with their own issues. And no, it's not the price, because I don't have a big yarn stash and don't spend a lot of money on yarn. I prefer better quality but less quantity. Of course, premium natural yarn is expensive, and cheap natural yarn can feel awful against the skin. But the main problem is that 100% natural yarns often don't hold shape well. They stretch out or shrink after washing, and I'm not going to hand wash anything in my life. Basically, I want to have my cake and eat too. Or, in other words, I want yarn that both budget-friendly and good quality. When Temu became available here in Montenegro, I thought, why not give it a try? Thankfully, the site has filters for fiber content, so I was able to easily find silk, bamboo, wool and even cashmere at super low prices. But that leaves one big question. Are the sellers lying? I mean, how can 300 grams cone of 100% silk cost less than 10 euros? Well, I decided to take the risk and I don't regret it one bit. Here's why. The silk you're seeing on the screen now is actually my second order of the same yarn. I liked it so much that I ordered more in different color. This time I got 600 grams instead of 300. Besides silk, I also got 150 grams of sock yarn and 300 grams of cashmere. But today we are only talking about the silk, because I don't want this review to just be "Ah, this yarn is soft, I can recommend it." No, that's not how I do things. I want this to be useful. So, the silk. 100% silk, one cone in 300 grams, 1800 meters. It comes in a variety of beautiful colors. I'll leave the link in the video description. It feels lovely to the touch. The very first thing I did when got this yarn, I burned it, because as we all know, synthetic fibers melt. They don't burn, and they smell different when burned. So I was really surprised when the thread burned in a second and turned to ash, no melting. That tells me with pretty high confidence that this is a natural fiber. Can I prove this is real silk? No. Honestly, I suspect no mulberry silkworms were harmed in the making of this yarn, and it's probably some kind of viscose. But it's very high quality yarn. Even if it costs 3 times more, it would still be worth it, and here is why. Right now I'm crocheting a dress using this yarn, held double with a 2.5mm hook. Yes, it will take forever. Hopefully I'll finish by next summer. But my first project with this yarn was a skirt, also held double, also with a 2.5mm hook. By the way, the crochet hook set I'm using is also from Temu. It's amazing. I'll drop that link too. Some words about the skirt you see. I started with the ribbing, then worked a mesh pattern using extended treble crochet stitches. Before washing, the skirt looked kind of sad, but blocking worked its magic, and now it's my favorite handmade item in my wardrobe. I wore it all summer, washed it a few times in the machine, and so far it's holding up great. No peeling, no snags, the color hasn't faded. Of course, after 3 months of heavy wear, I do see some wear, but it will easily last 2 more summers. So I can confidently say this silk is absolutely worth the money, and I do recommend it. You might say to me, What about the ethics of production and the sustainability of this yarn? Unfortunately, I have no influence over the wages of factory workers in the country where the yarn was produced. And no, if we all stop buying products from China or Bangladesh, workers there won't start earning more. Quite the opposite. Factories will shut down and people will lose even their low-paid jobs that feed their families. This issue needs to be addressed on a global level and not at the expense of the consumers of products supplied by corporations. As for sustainability, any mass-market clothing production is a disaster for the planet. If you dive deeper into the topic, you'll be shocked by the scale of the problem. So the only thing we as consumers can really do is to avoid hyperconsumption and buy only what we truly need, especially when it comes to yarn blends that cannot be recycled. I hope this gave you enough information to make up your mind. You're welcome in comments to discuss anything concerning to Temu, yarn, ethics and ecology. I'm off to test the rest of my Temu yarns and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!